So how is it? This is a kid from a working class background. Yeah. So how is this put across to the audience? How are we told that this is a working class family? And the answer is through the mise en scène, isn't it? We can see it as a kind of like a sort of shabby house. It also puts it in a particular time period, doesn't it? So what are the signifiers that the filmmaker uses to tell the audience we are in a particular era, in a particular class of house, those sorts of things, and that would be all to do with the semiotics. You know, he's wearing a yellow vest. That might connote that he is flamboyant, that he is, because yellow is a colour that we connect with, joy, happiness, sunshine. So, there's that as well. But it's a really good analysis. I'd say it was high, proficient, low, excellent, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And would be excellent if it was for the.
I did actually mention the vest, to be honest. Like when I said it, like made him look like.
Oh
innocent.
yeah, you said flamboyant. Yeah. That's great. Innocence and youth, and yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So we just need to get the word connote in there. So his bright yellow vest and his flamboyant shirt. Instead of highlight, connotes his innocence and youth, and that would be a perfect answer. But it's very, very, very good analysis. So I'm not being too critical. It's just the words. It's just use of the right language. So then we've got the prelim, which you have been technical about, which is good. Very few people have been technical about it. So why you decided to make it black and white was because of a white balance problem. So if you were going to do it again, you would be checking the white balance more closely. What I also want to see in there is a bit of a rundown of how you did it. So I want to see screenshots. You know how to take a screenshot on the Mac, just Command, Shift and 4. Okay. And then you get this little crosshair and you can just cut out a bit of the screen and it dumps it on the desktop somewhere. There it is. Nice. So that's a nice little way of doing it. So show me some screenshots of Final Cut. Okay. That's it really. So you've got 3 more analyses to do before the end of next week. So it's fairly tall. But what I've said to everyone is get really focused about it rather than writing tons and tons and writing an essay for each one. Just get almost like bullet pointed is fine, sort of like medium shot showing the protagonist wearing this, which connotes this. Then we cut to, so almost write it like a list. Okay. And don't forget to talk about titles as well as the other thing. So titles are really, really important. Have you talked about titles?
Not in this one. I did on Django, but
yeah. The titles, don't overlook them because they're a really massive part.
What kind of thing would you say about that?
So I'd say it was sans serif,
right?
Which means that it hasn't got those caps on the end, which is a bit more of a modern font. It's yellow, which again might connote innocence, youth, all those sorts of things. Talk about the placement. It's been put, they've been placed with the protagonist jumping on one side of the frame. Is he jumping on the bed or something?
Yeah, he's bouncing on his bed.
He's bouncing on his bed with the. Do the titles? How do they just fade on and fade off?
Yeah, I think so.
They just fade on and fade off. Okay.
They say they don't move.
So we're seeing just literally describe and the against the wallpaper. And what is it set in the 70s, 80s?
Yeah, early 80s. But
early
I guess
80s.
the wallpaper will probably be from the 70s.
Yeah. So we're seeing. So we're getting anchored, and that's an important word to remember as well. Is anchoring. Audiences get anchored in a particular era. So when the film, right from the get-go, we're being anchored in the early 80s, late 70s. And the text is yellow, sans serif, capitals. Just say what you can about it, as long as there's a recognition of it.
Nice.
That'll be it. And apart from that, I think you're doing great. I think you're doing amazing, and
Thanks.
Keep it up, and just make those little changes, and you'll be in the excellent category.
Okay.
Which is great.
Thanks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll email this to you now, George, and.